What's up, guys? Peter von Panda here. Just picked up this US Polo Association watch. One of a number of watches that comes from this US Polo Association co-branded watch series that, as I've said, look good, aren't expensive, and have a great deal of style. And so I put these kind of a step below diesel watches in terms of overall construction and features, but you get a lot of that similar style. So this watch right here is the Classic Men's US4023 black analog with a leather strap, and this one is pretty bloody big. I'm going to throw the caliper on here, and the case, as you can see, says it is 52.5 millimeters. With it, there's a little bit of the case that sticks out behind this bezel, and so it's advertised as a 53 millimeter, and I really think it is. With the crown, it's nearly 62 or 63 millimeters. So this is a pretty big watch. If you checked out my other watch about, or my other videos about 50 millimeter plus watches like the Aircraft or the Diesel, I dig them. You know, if you're gonna get a watch that's big like that, it should have a little bit of in your face, I don't care what you think about me kind of style. And this one says I am murdered out. I just rolled up in a black Maserati in my black silk suit and you know, my $400 Oakley sunglasses, and I could care less about what you think. Again, about a 7.5 inch standard size men's wrist. This watch looks pretty big, but I kind of dig that. And the one thing about big watches, when you go dark in color, it doesn't quite make them look as big, but it's got a little bit of color in the red in the face. And so if you're gonna go a really big watch, you can either go super blingy, get diamonds all over the bloody thing, or crystals, or whatever you want to do, or you can kind of go this route that says, you know, I'm in the Yakuza. A couple of things that I will point out about it is, first of all, when I had it on, the crown sticks out 8 or 9 millimeters almost. And so if you don't wear this, if you're not going to wear this pretty loosely, I can see that it's going to hurt or wear, or you're going to have a mark, or it's actually really hard just to lift your wrist because that crown sticks in there. You'll notice that a lot of watches, when they get into the size, will either do a couple things: offset the crown up to the top. We'll either put it at the top or go in a lefty version with the crown over on this side. And I can definitely see that that is useful because of how much extra room you have to give yourself on this end. A couple other things I'll throw out there is this is a quartz movement. As you can see, the second hand is clicking around, but the crown that controls the time setting is the one down here on the bottom. So I'll just pull it out and I'll show you that I can change the time, push it back in. It's not a screw down crown by any means. So you're saying, Pete, what's this thing, man? It looks like a U-boat or a welder watch that has the cap that you unscrew and pull off and adjust the crown. This is totally a faux crown. There's nothing on it. And actually, if I really pull on it, because I was poking around with it a little earlier, it just pulls straight out. It's not painted underneath. This doesn't connect to any part of the movement itself. It is literally, and actually you can see that they must put it in before they paint it, because you can see that the paint down here overlaps where there's a little bit of space on the bezel. So it actually just presses in there. There's a little bit of ridge to the post, so it is held in there, but it doesn't do anything. And actually I was twisting it, and I don't even know that these two come apart. They must, or they're pressed together, because this little arm in there holds the piece on, or looks like it does. So again, you kind of get a bunch of that style. This is kind of an in vogue thing on, like I said, some of the U-boats and a bunch of other watches, but on this particular watch, it doesn't do a bloody thing. These two pushers here on the side are just pieces that are molded or carved into the case. They don't do anything either, and as you can see, there's no subdial or chronograph feature per se, so it's not likely that they would do anything. The bezel looks like it's actually a single piece as well, but I assume that it's manufactured separately, or may actually just be cast into the case as one piece. It's got the serrated edge. So it's got a pretty nice feel. You can definitely grip it, but it doesn't move. nor would it, and it's really there just for style. The leather band is 4 millimeters thick. I actually just measured that, and it has these 2 rivets at the top. Again, very similar to the diesel watches if you take a look at those. It gives it a really rugged look, kind of like a military spec, or this watch is kind of like the armored vest of watches. And the thing about the dial is, I'll show you, obviously you see the red accents, and it might be a little hard to see here, but that inner portion of the dial has like a little bit of a guilloche texture. It has concentric rings, so you get there, you can see it a little better. So it's kind of like a record right in the middle, about the middle 2/3 of the dial. And then that outer portion of the dial all the way around is just a flat brushed steel look. Again, all in a black color, but no texture around the outside. So, again, this watch is $20 to $30. You can't go wrong. It is $19 for style and $1 for substance. I mean, you get a pretty standard quartz movement in here, and you get a watch that looks like it's a lot more than a $20 or $30 watch. But you don't have to sweat banging this thing around, losing it, busting it up because of the price point. So this is kind of a watch I think you would wear your first day to college, or out with the buddies on drinking night, or $2 burger night, because it does look good. I wouldn't hesitate to keep this watch myself, and just kind of bust it around when you're wearing your polo shirts and your 7 jeans. Anyway, Peter von Panda, US Polo Association, the murdered out version of the black watch. Check it out. Pretty good watch overall. Panda out.